Hello. It's like 1 o'clock and I've been writing all day. The whole of this week has just been focusing on writing. So my goal has been that today I would send draft 3 of my book to my agent. And she actually emailed me yesterday about something unrelated. And I emailed back and was like, oh amazing, I'm sending you my book tomorrow, just so you know. And now obviously I'm thinking, oh gosh, it's not ready to send. But this has been the whole narrative for the last like 6 months, where every single time I get to the end of a draft, I think I'm ready to send it and I think it's ready to be sent. And then I start really overthinking it and decide it's terrible and go back and rewrite like whole sections and completely rearrange everything. And this is happening every single month and every single time I set a deadline like this. And so I'm having to be strict with myself this time because I know my brain and I know I will just keep on doing this. And also when I send it, it will give me a little bit of space around the book while I wait for my wonderful agent's feedback. All that to say, I do need to send this. And I'm going to keep you updated today. I am volunteering, but other than that, I'm in all day. It's raining, it's lovely. I've got like this ongoing to-do list. Because as I was reading through this draft, I've just like written maybe 10 pages of notes like this of things that I want to change. And some of this stuff I can wait until the next draft to change because it's more structural. It doesn't necessarily need to be changed. But some of it, which I've starred, does really need to be changed. Anyway, I'm gonna go on a walk though. So I've been sat at my desk literally since I woke up. I have only got up to eat and it has been lovely. I'm really enjoying it, but I'm gonna go on a short walk in the rain, and while I'm walking I'm just going to narrate and like say aloud one of the scenes that I'm wanting to add in. Like it's not very long, it's like a very short conversation, half a page, but I'm gonna write that on my walk, which is something I actually do a lot. And if you do write like either academic or fiction, writing on a walk is actually kind of quite nice. Like it actually works quite well. Obviously you need to do lots of editing when you get back. Basically my method is that I go on voice notes on my phone, I say the scene aloud just as it comes to me, then I listen to it back, then I say it again, and then I maybe jot down in my notes specific lines that I really, really like, and then when I get back I type it up. And it works quite well. Sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes I go on a walk and then I get really distracted by the colours and the leaves and I realise that I haven't actually written anything, but today I actually need to. Anyway, I'm gonna go because I'm just rambling as a way of procrastinating from actually finishing this draft. So, let's go. And just look how lovely all the rain is. I feel like I might need to change. These will get very muddy. There we go. Let's leave. And of course I said that and then sat down immediately back at my desk because there was a scene that I wanted to reread. But only about half an hour later, I actually did leave to go on a walk. I'm massively overthinking the book as I'm walking. I've just decided that I absolutely hate the plot and the story. I think the big thing I'm struggling with is like judging whether something actually works or not. I changed the storyline a lot with this draft, like really, really a lot, because I think maybe the storyline is a lot worse than what it was before. I don't know. But I just want to get it finished. I need to get it finished. I can send it to my agent and then she can tell me. And she will be honest, and I know she will be honest. I'm saying this because I just want to be really honest with you about the process of writing this book. Like, as you would expect, there's been so much overthinking and self-doubt around whether it actually could be good. And I really think that's kind of impeded on how much I've enjoyed writing it as well. Like I've had long periods where I've just completely fallen out of love with it because I think it's really bad. As I say, I think it would be good to have space from it, and I'm really excited because I've got this other children's book I've just been writing for the fun of it, and it would be really nice to kind of focus on a different project. This is my list of things that I need to do. I've done the ending, which did take much longer than this. It's now 9:30 for reference, so it took a lot longer. I'm gonna see if before 10, when I'm gonna go to bed, I can get the Edinburgh part done, because yes, part of the book is set in Edinburgh, just one scene. Essentially, this was a scene about halfway through the book, and I had written in square brackets, remember to write this later, and then as I was going through the book, realised I never actually had written it. So I tend to do that quite a lot. And speaking with other people who write, apparently it's not an uncommon experience at all. but I did finally get it written, and writing it also involved quite a lot of research into Victorian Edinburgh and what Princes Street would have looked like, so it was fascinating because I got to do loads of research as well. I'm able to tick off this one. If you maybe couldn't tell, birds is a massive part of this book, and the main character loves birds, and the main character knows a lot about birds. Anyway, I'm going to go to bed. I'm very tired. It's 11:15, and I did not get through the whole to-do list. So then here we are in the morning, and I was just typing up a load of pages that I had handwritten into my notebook, because I do handwrite about half of my, I've handwritten about half of this novel and then type the other half, but transcribing it really does take quite a long time. And then in the afternoon I went up to London, so I had a meeting with my manager first, which was really, really lovely. In the evening, I went to a book launch. This was the book launch for Alice Loxton's latest book, which is Eleanor, and this was being held in Poets' Corner at Westminster Abbey, which is just the coolest location ever for a book launch as well. And as you probably could not just hear, I went to Evensong beforehand. I've wanted to go to Evensong at Westminster Abbey for years, and so this was such a treat.
For the Westminster Abbey team, the Dean and Chapter for having us here today. I cannot stress how much of an amazing honour this is. And, you know, the Westminster Abbey team really did play a part in this book.
And when I did leave, it had been raining, and it meant that the whole of Westminster, like around the Big Ben, it was just gleaming. Everything was reflecting, and I love it when you're in a city and it's been raining, because there's this lake beneath the buildings which is formed and it reflects all of the lights, and I just think it's one of the most glorious, beautiful sights. So I felt so extremely lucky to be able to see this. And on the train back, I started reading Eleanor actually, and I'm really enjoying it so far. Do you want to go out in the snow, or do you want to look at the map? As you can see, the luck continued the next morning, because I wake up to snow, which is just, there is nothing as magical as that, waking up, opening your curtains and realising that it snowed. My favourite poem about snow is London Snow by Robert Bridges. I read it for a poetry recitation competition when I was in year 12, and it remains one of my favourite poems. But as you can see, I was writing some more, writing the very final little bits of plot that had been left out, which meant that in the afternoon I could finally say, I think I've just finished writing the book. Of course, though, there was still some editing left to do, and this is me going through the book and starting to make those edits which would actually make it possible for me to send this book to my agent. I've been writing all day, and I'm so nearly ready to be able to send this. So this was the list that I wrote today to keep track of everything. I've just been crossing them out. I still need to do this. I've done that actually. Remarkably. That's going to be for tomorrow. And then this I want to do today. But I'm feeling kind of okay about it. I'm doing a read through right now to see if it makes sense, just on my computer. And yeah, crazy. I can't believe that I finished it. Here is a look into my desk space at the moment. The two books that I'm consulting are Barrett's British Birds, which has been very, very important while writing this book because it's the character's favourite book. And then this is the other book that I've been reading and that you saw me last night reading. It's this wonderful edition. It's out of period. This is from 1910 and the book is set in 1870. But it's been such a useful book for looking at and learning about different shell types. and the images are just stunning. I'm looking for Osprey. Kittiwake, that's such a cute name. 2, 3, 8. I'm very slowly getting there. It's definitely a work in progress, but of course writing a book is going to be a slow process, and I don't want to rush. I kind of don't want to like rush and just get it done. I've been working on this book for like at least 7 hours a week, but usually more, since February, and have kind of had the idea since January 2024. I don't want to kind of like rush it right now. I've got 2 things left though on the to-do list. Like all of these have been done, and I've also kind of changed this bit, but there's a grandmother part I need to change, and this bit with the raven. There are little things that come up where I'm like, that's inconsistent, that doesn't work. I feel like I need a clue to this earlier, and so I'm kind of choosing different themes and key points and then trailing through the manuscript looking for how they can kind of, everything can fit up. It's not necessarily going well, but it doesn't have to be perfect. I need to tell myself that. Like, no piece of art, no piece of work can be perfect, and I can still work on it some more. Here I was just going through more bits and bobs and tiny things I needed to check, and this took a surprisingly long time overall, just sorting out inconsistencies. I think it's done. I think. I'm going to do another read through tonight and then I can send it. But I'm going to go to a Christmas fair now to be festive. And I can tick. There is one thing actually I didn't tick, but I realised as I was going through it's much more structural, and so I might integrate it into the next draft instead. I'm just going right through the draft again, and I'm only looking at my protagonist's speech to make sure that it's consistent the whole way through. I think going through doing this will only take me another like 15 minutes, but I'm on page 50 and it's actually very useful. So for context there, my character doesn't speak all that much, so there actually really isn't very much dialogue where she's speaking, but I wanted to make sure that every single line really did sound like her, and so I just went through them one by one and then adjusted anything which didn't sound like it was quite in her voice, and I practiced saying these lines aloud as well to kind of get a better sense of if that is how she actually would say them. Here is one of my favourite little gadgets. It's a gold foil pen, so I'm just going to pop the gold foil over the top here, and then this will impress the gold into the moleskin. I've been meaning to do this for ages. This is the book that I use for writing my novel. Oh, I think I've ruined it. As you can see, for whatever reason, the gold didn't come out at the bottom of the bee, which is very disappointing. And that wasn't something I could fix, but that was okay. I love this one so much that I'm actually going to do this one too and peel off this sticker. While I'm at it, I'm going to do my commonplace book too. And just like that, I'm finished. Okay, I'm going to send it to my agent now. This is so crazy. Okay, let's send it. And now all we do is wait. It's so bizarre. I am looking forward to having some space from this book and then returning to it in a couple of weeks when I haven't been so absorbed in the world of it. But anyway, there is something that I said I would buy if I managed to finish my book. And this is because of just how long this has taken. I wanted to celebrate submitting this in some way, and I think this is a way to do it. So, oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Also, you might recognise this is my mood board inspired by the book. So a while ago, I found this dress, and I kid you not, it looks almost identical to the dress that I imagined my protagonist wearing when I was writing. And then I saw it on Linen Naive that they'd started selling it, and I want to buy it so that I can kind of wear the dress that the character wears. Oh no, what if it's sold out? I did see this months ago, so oh my gosh, if it's sold out I will be heartbroken. Here it is, it's this dress. And this is the dress I imagine the protagonist wearing. Manifesting wearing this on a book tour. Can you imagine? No, I can't let myself imagine that. I think that's going to take ages to arrive, but I'm so excited for when it does. And maybe it will arrive with the feedback from my agent, and then I can wear this dress while I'm doing the next round of edits. In a very Jo March fashion. You know how she has a jacket, her writing jacket that she wears when she's writing? I love the idea of that, and I really want to wear this dress when I'm doing the next draft. I think it'll be really fun. But anyway, I'm going to end the vlog here. Thank you so much for joining me on this final week of writing this book, even though of course it's not the final week, and this book needs much more work and I will do another full draft, but it still feels like something of an accomplishment to have got this done. For a while I didn't know if I actually would finish it, and I was very tempted just to put it in a drawer and not continue with this, and I'm pleased that I managed to kind of push through the period where I was so convinced that this book was terrible. Anyway, yes, I will see you in the next vlog, and I just want to say thank you so much for watching, and I hope that you have more than just a productive week.